I just realized that I have 40 bottles of ink that I need to swatch. And you may wonder, gee, Eric, how did you get to have that many bottles? Well, I bought two batches of pre owned inks. One was a batch of 17 inks, and the other one was a batch of 23. And I know that because I just counted them. So I am going to do the first batch of 17 inks. I don't even remember what they are. They do have boxes, so I do have the names and everything. I see some dominant industry. I see some, I don't know. I don't know what the others are. Um, but even though it's 17 colors, depending on how long the video is getting, I may do it in two parts just because I know I can be pretty slow when getting through inks. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. So for now, I'm gonna switch you around so we can look at my little notebook. This time again, I'm gonna be using my Musubi Rasa notebook just because I like swatching in it. Uh, and yeah, we'll see how far we get. So let's switch you around. Okay, so for this little ink swatch party, that's what I calling it. I've already made my little boxes. I think I have 18 boxes, but I know I won't be using one of them, which is okay. But I do have another ink here on my desk, so I wonder if I'll just do that just to complete the box. And I will be using my Kaleidocraft Prints nib holder with my Kakimori steel nib. I do wonder if I want to switch to the brass just because it does tend to like put down a little bit more ink. So I may just do that, friends. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be using the brass just because it does put down a little bit more ink. And I discovered that I like the way pencil feels in this notebook. So I'm gonna be using a pencil to write down the name of the inks. Um, Looking at my phone, we're a little over a minute already. And I said I didn't want to take too long, so let's get to swatching. Looks like the first ink is from Ink Institute. Um, wow, these names are gonna be interesting. This is a brand new bottle. Look, the person never even opened it. Uh, Shuinandong Smelter. Sorry if I butcher that. I know I probably did. Let me see if I can use this. Yes. If you guys remember, I got this from my neighbor at the San Francisco Pen Show just a few months ago. And this is what it's for. Let me see. I think I went over yeah. Perfect. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep this handy. So let's look at that. Okay, looks like it's a huge box for a 30 milliliter bottle, which I'm not mad at the amount of ink. I just think the box is pretty huge, but it does look like it's very secure in there. Like it's not, look at all that space. Um, I have a 30 milliliter bottle for my inks, and I'm glad my boxes are not this big because I will be taking up so much real estate in my boxes. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's get to swatching. I'm already loving the color here, so I'm glad this is ink number one. Let's get some juices going in here. And I think I could probably put my Kindle under my notebook. I want to get as much of the space covered as possible. So far, I'm not getting any shading, but I think this is one of those inks that it's going to start changing colors as it dries. So that's pretty exciting. Meanwhile, let's cap our little bottle. Okay, that is already doing something interesting. So that's pretty cool. So, okay, this color is Cat at Dusk. Interesting. I have heard of this color. I think back in the day I did get a sample of it. Uh, I don't remember if I ever bought a bottle. Again, big box, cute little label. This one looks like the person did swatch it before. Let's see. Okay, there's that little ink. So far, the colors are slightly similar in that they are like a light dark color, but they're also changing. These are little swatches so far. The next one we're doing is another Ink Institute. This is going to be, oh, it looks like a premium sheen. Interesting. Jadeite, is that what it's called? Interesting. I don't recall this color at all. It reminds me of like a Christmas ink. Like, yeah, I think this would be like a really good Christmas ink. It's very dark. Actually, on the camera, it looks very, very dark. Definitely a very deep jade color. These are interestingly light. I don't, do they even work in pens? I'm gonna have to ink something up with those colors because they're very light. And these were like pretty generous swatches in my opinion. So, okay, let's move over to this side of the page of the notebook. Oh, this is interesting. I found three inks that are Cat at Midnight, Cat at Noon, and Cat at Dawn. So that probably also goes with Cat at Dusk. So if since I have three left, I'm gonna do all three of those. Looks like out of these, only one of them was swatched. So let's just go ahead and start with that. So this is again Cat at Dawn. Cute little label, looks like a bluish color. I love these little bottles. They're so frosted and look cute. So, okay. Cat at Dawn. That's pretty. That's going to be easily like a favorite just because that's a very interesting blue. It's not very standard. Let's do Cat at Noon first. I almost feel bad breaking the seal. These are like brand new bottles, but that's what they're for, right? It's like a pinkish color, Cat at Noon. Interesting. It's also very light color. I'm gonna have to like look up reviews or any like type of article or opinions, comments on these colors. Like, do people use them mainly for like drawing, or are they really writing with them? because that is light. It's not about color. Okay, and the last color we are doing is Cat at Midnight, which looks like it's more of like a brownish, maybe black ink. This is so handy. Cute little label again. I love these little cats. All right, friends, I think I am going to stop it here just because um my back is getting tired, especially my neck. Like probably all this reaching over and working with the bottles is a lot for my neck right now. But I just want to show you a little close up of the colors. This one is pretty fun. This one has like it's a chromo shader type of ink, and you're getting like pinks and greens with it. It's also like a grayish color. That is Shinandong. Sorry. Yeah, I definitely can't say Shuinandong Smelter. I was gonna butcher that so badly. I already did anyway. Yeah, see, they're using them. I guess they're showing them more for drawings, but I'm really curious about putting these in pens. The next color was this kind of like icy blue. It's more on the lighter side, and this is Cat at Dusk. The third color we swatched was this Jadeite. I believe that's how you say it, from Ink Institute. It's a pretty standard color. I'm not crazy for it. It's they describe it as a like what premium sheen, and it was very sheeny. Here I'm only getting a little bit of sheen, but it was a very juicy ink. So I'm sure in the pen it would be very sheeny. It's great probably for like office work. I'm sure it's like in a pen it's going to be pretty dark or dark enough that it can pass off as black, especially in like a fine or fine medium to medium. Maybe not black, but it's going to be dark enough that it won't distract. The next one that we did was Cat at Dawn, and that's really pretty. I think that's one of my favorites just because it's like a blue, a powdery blue, leaning more toward the pink. Um, and it's really, really nice. The next one was Cat at Noon, and yeah, I don't know how I feel about it just yet. It's a nice little color. There is some shading happening. It's like I almost see hints of yellow coming out, but just very little. I was Cat at Noon, and then the last one that we did was Cat at Midnight, and that was more toward the black. It's not. It goes down pretty dark, but it dries a little bit lighter. It's a nice little color. It's more, I would say, more of a dark gray, not necessarily black, but yeah. So far, that's those are the little colors, friends. Um, come back next week. I think I'm gonna do the next one, and then I'll be doing the next as well. I'm sorry to drag it, but it's probably for the better. You don't want to sit through a super long video. Oh, and now I'm like thinking like the other one that I have is like 20, 20 some colors. Anyway, friends, that's for me to worry about and for you all to enjoy. So let me know what you think of these colors. And I'm really specifically curious on if you have seen or heard of anybody using them for like if they've used them for writing, what do they think of it? Specifically these lighter colors, or if they use them for drawing, what was their experience? Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you again later. Bye bye.